Well, a very good kind of afternoony morning to you, West Ham fans. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. That's it. Christmas over now. The work begins. Boxing Day, Southampton kick off in a few hours' time, and as always, we try and predict the starting 11 ahead of the game. I think it's going to be relatively well. I think it's going to be relatively simple. We knew from the Julian Lopetegui press conference on the 23rd that there were a couple of issues. We know that Paqueta's out. He's suspended, having picked up 5 yellow cards. There was a concern on Mavropanos, but there's always a concern on Mavropanos, even if he plays, to be honest. Because he said a couple of problems, but he wasn't a couple of issues. He sort of like covers his own back a little bit, to be honest, in the press conference. But yeah, I think let's jump into it and let's try and predict the game. It's again a very important game. It's going to be a very tough game. I think a tougher game than it was a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, the new manager bounce. Juric starts in the dugout for the first time for Southampton since obviously the sacking of Russell Martin. So typically, there's always going to be you assume a new manager bounce. We had that with obviously Ruud Van Nistelrooy at Leicester, and since then they've been crap. Anyway, let's start. Let's start with. I think Lucas stays in goal. Don't see any point changing it. Saved us the point really for some. I think he was man of match for the last 2 games. Really, in terms of some of his saves have been fantastic. And then I hope we go back to our sort of standard back four with Wan-Bissaka. I assume Todibo will be in anyway, regardless of if Mavropanos is fit or not, because he's the better player. And Max Kilman, he's played every minute of the Julian Lopetegui Premier League West Ham career, and Emerson. So for me, let me just get that sorted. That's it. That's the back four. Simples. Simples. And that should be what we get. Please. Now, going to midfield, obviously, Soler out. Soler in. Which he returns back from his my match suspension. I think he goes straight in. And obviously, with Paqueta out, it does produce. It's a couple of issues, not issues, but a couple of selection headaches. Maybe. Do you put Soler back in and just put him as a 10 with Paqueta, where Paqueta would play? Possibly. Do you put him alongside an Alvarez and allow Kudus to play as a 10? That's what I would love to do. I don't think it's going to happen though, because he's over reliance of Thomas Soucek alongside an Alvarez. Now Alvarez has been likely to be dropped occasionally, but I just don't think he's going to drop him. I mean, this is what I think will happen. So you've got Alvarez sort of playing there kind of alongside Soucek and Carlos Soler. Obviously, we're looking at getting that permanent deal signing. Obviously, that would free up. I need to move these fullbacks a bit. I need to move this defence forward a little bit. Let's go a little. Boop. Oh, no, too far. That'll do. And then with that, you'll have probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the same sort of forward line with Kudus on the left and Nicholas up front to give him another opportunity to get some minutes. That's what I think will happen. What I would probably like to happen would be to take out Thomas, play with the 2 there, and then Kudus plays there, and then Somerville plays there. That's what I would like to happen. I don't think that will happen. The other option is he may decide to sort of double pivot and play Soucek, but he tends to play a little bit more fast and loose away from home randomly. If you look at the Newcastle game where he plays Soler and Paqueta, but I think, I really think if we play on the front foot, get into him early doors, that new manager bounce will just disappear. We haven't heard of any of the injuries, if there are injuries. All we know for sure, if we focus, is that Paqueta is definitely out and Mav does have a potential knock. I mean, to be fair, the last few games he's gone back to a back three, but then, I mean, the Brighton game, I think we went to back three for about 20 minutes and then moved it all around again. That's what I think I'd like to see. Whether we see it, I don't think so. I think we're more likely to be the first one. But let me know what you see. What would you prefer? Obviously, I think we'd all prefer Somerville to start and Kudus to play in the middle rather than necessarily on the right. I mean, he might go with Bowen up top. It's an option. I don't like the option. And with Bowen up top, Tommy Soucek sort of comes in and plays like that, which he has done before. I just don't like Bowen up front. I think he's wasted in the same way that Kudus is wasted on the left. I think Bowen's wasted up top. You don't get that sort of pace, that injection. I mean, you've got that for Kudus, but Bowen's best attributes are coming off the right-hand side. But let me know what you think. We'll be doing the watch-along. We will definitely be doing the watch-along. I'm around anyway. So even if Anton's a bit busy with the kids, putting together Meccano sets or shit like that. I'm in the process of putting my annual Lego set together. So I might sort of have to dip out to make sure I finish the page before we start. But anyway, take care. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith. And don't have too many Christmas dinner poos and Christmas dinner farts. Oh, it's the worst thing about Christmas dinner, isn't it? Next day. Much love. Bye-bye.